Okay. It's your boy Brandon Chung, man, and I'm back at it again, man. I'm back at it yet again. Today, we are doing a reaction video reacting to Tea with GaryVee Sports Card Edition, right? So this is my third time recording to it. So the first part won't be my live reaction because my previous two shoots were super laggy. So hopefully this time it's better. If it's not, then I'm sorry. Yeah, so GaryVee is very insightful about the sports cards. He has very interesting opinions, and I am a sports card YouTuber myself. I do basketball cards, soccer cards, all of this. So I'm going to split everything up into 4 parts, right? And you can leave like and subscribe, blah blah blah. But yeah, I've been doing sports card for almost a year now, so hopefully I can bring a little bit of value. That's what I want to do, man. Anyway, let's just get straight into the action. Come on, Gary, you got it. We believe in you.
1 second. This is the sports cards edition, which is really fun.
Yeah, that's why we here. That's why we here.
Last week, got some good questions, I'm sure. Hopefully I can answer them. A lot of things I know in the sports card world, a lot of things I don't.
Yeah, same here, brother. Oh, I see the nice little basketball hoop over there. GaryVee must be balling over there. I see him.
Dustin, how are you this morning?
Great.
Yeah, Dustin.
Great is a good answer.
My guy Dustin.
Cool.
Then he said, let's get straight into the action.
No
What's up?
way.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good.
That's what I'm
Gary.
gonna do the same thing.
Super well, brother. What's cooking?
I'd be like, let's go.
Nothing, man. Name's David Richardson. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Buckhead, Atlanta. I know it's a sports card. I'm like gonna be like a squirrel right now, so you're just gonna have to kind of, narrow me. I got so much I want to say.
I'm a squirrel. Don't worry. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I would be remiss if I just didn't thank you, man. I mean, you've done so much just for my mental. Like, I'm the oldest of 3 boys. Just
He has valuable advice for
great
sure.
parenting and genetics. I was just blessed with a lot of the self-awareness, patience, practicality, frugality, and when you get out in the real world, you're being thrown all this different stuff. And I kind of ran into you in like 2017, 2018. And I didn't really know.
That's about the time. Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that came natural to me, and you just like really reinforced it, man. It made it sound, it made so much sense. You used to talk about this analogy about being the shield, and so you were kind of that shield for me, dude. You talked about like, being the shield in high school for bullies and stuff. And so like,
Yeah.
when I was trying to like, live 3-4 deep, convincing my friends to live 3-4 deep, live humbly. I'm driving like a $2,000 car with no AC.
Jeez.
Love.
He's
saving
grinding.
money, patience, work ethic, taking pay cuts to jump jobs to try and
Yeah.
I mean, you just inspired all that, man. And
Wow, that is
outside,
crazy.
what you're doing, you got something going on.
That's true.
Taking a pay cut, leaving this job you've been, advancing in. I was just like Gary. So,
dang, bro, he's
so
grinding out here.
I want to thank you so much for that, dude. Like, back in September, Ask Gary V's, you had like Michael Ovitz, Scott Belsky, my favorite.
I don't know who that is.
Stock, where she's talking about beating Ted Turner at 33, coming out the bathroom, and that was like her trick. And I'm like, here at 26, like hating my job.
I don't know.
Just like perspective, dude. So had to get that out of the way, man. Thank you so much, dude. Thank
You're
you
welcome,
so
brother.
much.
Thank you
All right, let's get into sports cards, dog.
Just let me get in my tunnel. So, anyways, I got into sports cards probably January, February.
That's when a lot of people got in.
Crazy, the artwork, like I draw and a little creative, so like the artwork resonated with me, and kind of just like the man cave flex when guys like me are 40.
Man cave, yeah.
Like a KD rookie card and stuff.
KD rookie for sure.
My question
2007
is,
tops.
the market, and
I think
when will be the new guy?
Is eBay evolving? Yes, I think eBay is evolving. eBay's paying.
eBay. Oh
and
my
pays
goodness.
attention. And I think if you look at eBay's history in the last 20 years, when
yeah.
a certain genre gets serious, they get more detailed, and they're already evolving, like the search based on the
That part is true.
That nature. So I expect eBay to evolve. I expect, StockX to evolve, and you see all sorts of startups coming up. I've been reached out by so many venture capitalists, and founders of like, I'm doing this thing in sports cards. So again, a lot of people are like, GaryVee, you brought all these people in, look, yes, I have some people following me and some people came, but this was happening
probably
for
true.
me. The reason I got back in is because I observed how many people were coming.
Yeah, that's true as well. That's true as well. Look at both sides.
It's collectors and and entrepreneur space, it's always been, you know, people that think it's an investment, people that sell them, people that buy them. The card companies manipulate that with the limited numbers and things of that nature.
Interesting. Yeah.
Manipulation from the top, or the structure from the top, whatever word you want to use. As far as the next guy, you know, I rarely have a opinion of like the next guy.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Which is why once every 6 months I'll share what I think, whether it was or Cunha.
Yeah.
Or I thought the Durant was an opportunity. You know, I don't have there's a lot of great players. There's a lot of young, good basketball players, but they're so young.
Of course,
so
it's hard to tell.
Official point of view on that right now. But I think the 60-game baseball season is going to capture a lot of attention because it's limited games. I think baseball will be more fun. It's going to be like playoffs the whole time.
Possibly, yeah.
You hope that they can get through it because COVID is still looming. You know, like we'll see how that goes, but that's where I'm at. Okay. And I appreciate.
All right, couple things. You know, we're thinking. So he said, you know, he doesn't have the next young player. That's great. I'm glad he is not speculating the market. I'm glad he is a little bit, you know, scared about which young player is going to do well. This is a very true thing. I'll have to go back and rewatch what he said just for a second.
Because I observed how many people were coming into the space. And so the space is getting big.
So yeah, so right there, he does the same thing for Facebook, Twitter, all of that. He observes everything, right? So.
Or I thought the Durant was an opportunity. You know, I don't have there's a lot of great players. There's a lot of young.
All right, anyway, let's just get. I forgot my thought. Let's just get.
Question was
forward.
Outside of rookie cards.
Oh, he was talking about eBay. eBay's got to do a lot of work to remain number one, man. There's so many problems with eBay, man. There's so many other StarSock. Could they be the next ones? And then ComC with the drop shipping idea. And then Beckett Marketplace has like pretty professional dealers. So these platforms keep needing to evolve. StockX has very high fees, and there's not a huge point for authentication with like PSA and like BGS cards because they're already authenticated, like like bro. So eBay, I don't know, I think they have to do a lot better. Anyway,
cards of guys going into like a season where they're about to do some stuff. So like a 2015 LeBron James card where he's gonna like go on to win like
oh dang
from 3-1 to win.
I like that. I like that.
Third year Patty Mahomes card where he's got like the
yes sir
MVP season stats on the back.
I got you, bro.
I got you, bro. No. Historically, not as much upside, but anything's possible now that there's so much new energy. Things get you know, when I was a kid, the Upper Deck, you know, Shaquille O'Neal was the actual rookie card. Now it's the Beam Team.
Yep.
You know,
things change. Yep.
You know, when I was a kid, baseball cards dominated.
Process of evolution, right?
Things do change.
Okay.
I don't see that right now. I also noticed on your on your LeBron that you had it in a case that's by like a grading company.
GMA.
That's kind of,
yes.
I really
no, I got all PSAs. That was just I'm
early on.
I'm trying to resub.
I'm crack a case.
Awesome. David, thank you so much, man. Good luck.
Thank you, bro.
I will say it's changing so much. People are calling all these sorts of World Cup Prism cards first year cards and stuff. And so if that's what the demand thinks, if that's what the people think, then that's what it is, right? You can't change their mind.
Man, thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
I like it. That's a good first question. Now I'll do one more question and then hop off.
Chris,
my fucking guy.
Oh, this guy.
How are you? Man, how are you? I'm great. How's you? How's your family?
Oh, well, thank you for asking.
Awesome. So right before I get into the sports card question, just want to say I've been following you for a couple of years. Obviously gained so much insight when it comes to the business, the life. But I think the biggest thing I've gotten from you is like this profound, massive appreciation and gratefulness for my parents. Just how I was raised, everything that they sacrificed, and like it's just been such a huge part of my development. I'm in my early 20s. I'm 24, and like I feel like now on my mom's side, like every other conversation, I'm just like, hey, by the way, like thanks for fucking making me.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then like with my dad,
thanks for making me. True.
Business, you know, really like chasing the legacy thing. Like I got 3 brothers. He started it in the 90s, said, fuck doing the corporate shit. I'm going to
yeah. Oh, that's my God.
Business, somehow making that work to create a successful business with kids and a wife. Like, it blows my mind. So
that's
like,
crazy.
Now I'm in this pursuit, like doing everything I can to give back to him. Also selfishly learning how to do business so I can try to do something myself later on.
Boom, boom.
So
boom, boom, boom.
I kind of want to do that. Seeing you do it kind of gave me more of like a framework.
Boom, boom.
So,
there we go.
Thank you.
I will say, you know, some people, you really need to work corporate job though. You have to feed your family, right? And so the main way to do it in a finance world is they say have a side hustle while you're doing corporate job, and then build a side hustle over the years. And then once side hustle can equate your corporate job income, then that's when you should switch mainly to side hustle. That's what the finance world says.
Appreciate it. So getting to the cards, obviously been following you for a couple of years. Used to do sports cards when I was a kid, but like I was just putting them in my fucking tire of my bike. Like I wasn't like hustling with them or anything.
Tired of bikes.
Started
This guy, bro.
A couple of months ago.
Oh.
Followed your advice. Really started putting the time in, going through Twitter, blow up forums, eBay, all that jazz. Finally had to pull the trigger on something, so I bought like an 89 score Deion Sanders rookie.
Ooh, I like that.
Try to flip it half. It's fucking
the best.
It's
and
Deion.
That card, yeah, man, that's
Dude,
I actually think that's it's funny. I'm not as passionate about the investment opportunities in football. They'll be there. Just not
for sure.
Basketball, soccer, wrestling. Believe it or not, is
for sure.
But football is my favorite sport.
He said that a lot.
Is just a guy. I have one of those. I have one of those as well in my collection.
And his tweets, like him off, like what he's tweeting and like putting out every day is so great. It's like amazing. So
you look at Deion, you look at Alex Rodriguez,
you
look at Dwayne Wade,
businessmen,
athletes that are staying extremely relevant.
Write that down.
Their career, which benefits their sport.
Write that down.
No question.
Write that down. They are still relevant.
Huge, and it's doubled since like April, which is nuts.
Write that down.
I mean, right now the market,
everything.
It's unbelievable. Anyway.
Okay. So anyway, I get that.
Which is scary, by the way, right?
Thank you.
Super scary. It doesn't seem real.
Well, I think it can be real if you have that much demand and there is only so much supply. It's not like a stock that can split. It's not like the American dollar that they can keep fucking printing. So there is a lot of
quantitative easing.
I do think alternative investing
can't stand it.
People are just putting money in different places.
Anyway.
And sports is so our culture, and entrepreneurship is
huge.
Such our culture, just the truth. And so it could be, but I think it's really important. There's so much excitement. There's a lot of people watching right now that watch Tea with GaryVee that don't follow that part of my life or that scene. And this is not like a gold rush. You have to be very careful, very educated. There's a lot to learn. It's very complicated. This is a 50 to 200 hour blowout forums, Twitter, Discord groups, YouTube. There's a lot to learn.
Discord groups is main one.
That have been in it the whole time.
Discord groups, man.
Who have way more context than I do. A lot of people that are just in it for the hobby, so they don't like the selling and of it. And so I have empathy.
That's I respect.
I respect it a ton.
That's so cool.
A lot of them really don't like me because I represent.
That's OG shit.
But listen, I respect it. If you're in a hobby, and you're there because you for the hobby of it, it's kind of like me with fantasy sports. Like I don't like when my friends play fantasy football because I'm in it for the Jets part. But I don't get to judge or tell them how to live their life. But I also understand the hate and the negativity. I'm empathetic to it. I really understand.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I just wish that people understood how much bigger than me it was. It was what Panini and Topps did with limitations and one-of-ones. So nonetheless. So what can I answer for you?
Okay, so I get that, and I use Nextdoor for like marketing for our company because it's kind of local.
Nextdoor,
and I just like fucking. I'm just gonna post something like, hey, getting back into the hobby. Like, if you or your kid has any old cards you want to get rid of, like, let me know. This really nice lady hits me up. She's like, hey, my father-in-law, like, he's got this collection. He doesn't care about it anymore. Sends me a couple boxes. I can see it's like, some vintage stuff. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll take a little gamble. Drop a couple $100. Start going crazy. 2, 3 a.m. at night, just flipping through these cards, looking them up. I start to notice, I'm like, where are these studs at? Like, where are these rookies? Like, I'm not seeing them. I start to think, like, is he like hiding them? Like, does he have like another set where all this stuff is? She sent me a text on Tuesday, like, hey, just spent all weekend cleaning out my attic. Like, got a bunch of shit. Like, I want to send it over to you. Take a look. She sends me these pictures. My head almost explodes. I'm looking through these pictures. I'm seeing just Steve Young rookies, Montanas, Gwens, like across.
Very good question.
End up
very good question.
There's been a couple thousand. Now I've got this huge set of stuff. I've looked through like 5% of it. Already know if I sold some of this stuff raw, I'll make my money back. Now I'm like getting super excited.
Todd,
go ahead.
Dustin, I want to answer Todd's question, so make sure you hold on to that later. Go ahead, brother.
So like some really sick stuff and like a lot of potential reselling that could happen from this. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Haven't really been able to flip through because I'm scared to death of like putting my finger on the cards. Like, should I have gloves on? I don't have penny sleeves right now because they're back ordered on a top loader. So I can't even look through this shit. I'm like barely creeping through it. So like, I know that I got to get inventory together. Like, but like my next question is, how should I diversify this shit? Should I
there we go.
PSA?
Diversify that like portfolio, bro. Diversify.
You know, I think all of it works. You could sell raw. You could, you know,
all of it, please. Just try all of it.
I'm educated on grading. You know, I missed that era when I was a kid, so I can't look at
it's all good.
And really know the difference.
It's all good.
And a 9.
Which is crazy you say that.
Only
like
if you have time.
In our tweet, I'm like, you've looked at how many cards have you looked at?
Oh, are you that dude? Yeah. So
yeah,
I looked at them. But when I was a kid in the 80s, like centering, it was corners and creases much more than
centering. So
centering
huge.
Later, as the emergence of grading, I didn't grow up in the grading era, so. You know, and
centering tool.
I'm struggling for time for family, you know, nonprofits, social justice, business.
$20.
You know, this is a great escape for me, but I'm never going to be a grader, which makes me happy because then people, the 15-year-old me would have been the best grader.
Magnifying tool.
Money on me not being able
$25.
to sell raw.
Yeah.
I think PSA. I believe that BGS and SGC are real players. I personally like the SGC case a lot because it's black.
Agreed.
You know,
so that puts me on another question. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. Like what I was thinking, like I feel like everybody's saying with the SGC, like, oh, I love how the slab looks. Like, how do we know that PSA is not going to come out and like offer multicolored slabs?
Boom.
This is what the 10 case looks like. This is what the 9 and
they might.
Gotta be thinking.
You know,
get creative. Thinking.
The 3 best graders that emerged.
Very true. Very true.
Now go to SGC or start GGG. You don't know anything.
Boom.
A big player comes in and says, "Hey, this is what this looks sick." LeBron or something.
What if card companies only slab when they ship now? What if in 6 years Topps is like your packs are slabbed? Anything can happen, and that's why people have to be careful and thoughtful.
Very interesting.
And mix between diversifying, mix between if you actually want it as a hobby, saving things like. If you want to do it as a business, take your profits. Sometimes a lot of people get greedy. They're like, "Oh, the LeBron's 10,000, it's going to 25,000." But if you bought it for 3,000, that's $7,000 of profit. That's
boom. It's so true. It's so true.
So you know, it's just all a mix. It's all normal business.
Yeah, it's important to mix it up a little bit, diversify portfolio. Try out a different grader and invest in what you understand, though. Right? Don't over diversify. It's complicated. You have to have like a pretty right balance. Self-awareness is very important. And yeah, like what GaryVee said, take the profit sometime. Me too. I have struggles with this, and I have to learn like, hey, I 4x'd on this card. Just take the profit, and I'll keep the other card.
I appreciate.
I'm excited.
Good. It's a lot of fun. I hope you keep enjoying it. Take care.
My God, funny.
Do you see the collapse?
Yeah.
In the early 90s,
yeah.
Second coming of the junk era. Todd, I think there is an inevitability to that. You know, the cards are in the business of making cards. So Panini, you know,
yes.
I don't know any details about this, but like I know they made a lot more Prism basketball this year than they did the year before, and the year before that, and the year before that. So,
you got that right.
You know, yes. I mean, if next year's basketball with LaMelo Ball is 5x what just happened with Zion, and that's the apex moment.
Could be.
And then the downside interest of flipping and business goes away. Yeah, I mean, there's been eras like ups and downs in sports cards. Always,
most definitely.
Like real estate, just like the stock market, there will be a dip, and I do think that the overproduction right now, the production is going to be very, very high because it's Topps and Panini's interest to do that. Upper Decks, Leafs, interest because that's their business, and people need to be extremely mindful of that. Yeah,
that's very true. He's absolutely right. I think a great first part of the video, he's very being conservative and cautious about the whole sports card industry. And this is what we need. Not just rah, fire up, but have like multiple perspectives of the sports card situation. So, hey, that's part 1. It's been your boy, Brandon Chung. Okay. Until next time. Yeah.